Jones the block at the right tackle. The muscular tight end Washington running left side, bulldozing, plowing. Wow! Catch and run. 31.
Yo, what is up, Steelers Nation? What is up, YouTube? Let me light up this Bengals pack real quick. Victory Sunday, Victory Sunday. Big division win against them boys from down the road in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, yeah, no disrespect. We walk into Pittsburgh and we get the win at home, 34-12 against the Cincinnati Bengals, man. So this game actually started out a little bit fast. We came out opening drive touchdown, Aaron Rodgers. We get a pass to, was it Jaylen Warren? Or not Jaylen Warren, but Kenneth Gainwell. Jaylen Warren, I believe, this is the drive where he exploded for like 34 yards. Let me take a look here. Yeah, hold on now. I might be wrong here. Let's see. We get DK for 4 yards. Warren gets 5 yards. We do the tush push. Got a generous spot on that because in real time it didn't look like we got it on that tush push, but we ended up being able to get it on review, I believe. Another pass to DK. Jaylen Warren, 3 yards. Here it is, right here. Jaylen Warren for 35 yards gets us down to the 12. And then we get the short pass to Kenneth Gainwell. There were some weird calls in this game. We had a roughing the passer on them. It felt like the refs gave us a roughing the passer back. TJ Watt got a roughing the passer, and it felt like Aaron Rodgers got a roughing the passer. Got hit in the face, kind of a little makeup call there. But Cincinnati, they end up going out on their first drive. They also end up getting a touchdown, but they missed their extra point. I think we jumped. They go for 2, and they don't get it. So we end up leading 7-6 at the end of the first quarter. I feel like on that first drive, too, we had DK open over the middle, or not on the middle. He had a sail route, and Rodgers just missed him. I feel like Rodgers has been missing a few throws, and we'll get to the Aaron Rodgers injury here in a minute. We go into the second quarter, up 7-6. They end up going on a 7-play drive here. I believe this is where Chase had a decent run, but we hold them to a punt. We come out, go 3 and out. They come out, go 3 and out. We come out, we do get a first down. This is where Freiermuth ends up breaking a couple tackles, and we get the first down, but then we stall out on the following series. We punt. We force the Bengals into a 6-play drive. They have to punt, and then that's when we go out and get a 9-play drive, 86 yards. We get the field goal. Let's see. We had the offensive pass interference on this, set us up for 1st and 20. Incomplete. Oh, and this is where big Darnell Washington, big Mount Washington, just fucking destroys 3 Bengals. First one, stiff arm. Bah! Second one, just run him over, low of the shoulder. Boom! Stay in bounds. Third one forces him out of bounds, but bah! Fucking run his ass over too. They're just unstoppable. If you're not gang tackling Darnell Washington, good luck, especially for these DBs. It was like, man, I just watching them run down the field and run these people. I'm like, God damn. It's fucking, dude's a monster. Big Mount Washington. Good to see him continue to have some success here. And we end up ending that drive with a field goal. And that takes us into the first half. We're up 10-6 at this point. I wish I would have took more notes. The Bengals come out and get a field goal, cuts it to 10-9 in our favor. And this is where we come out and have a solid drive. Oh, but the big thing coming out at halftime, Aaron Rodgers is not suited up. And I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, I know Mason had the heroics in 2023, so I wasn't necessarily worried about him. It was just more worried about Rodgers. Like, this dude said it was his left wrist. There's also reports that he had some issues on his throwing elbow, on his right elbow. So we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. But Mason came out. He looked solid. He really did look solid. He comes out. We get the field goal. Following drive is where Flacco ends up throwing that pick six to Duggar. Following that pick six, which puts us up 20-9. Cincinnati gets a field goal, cuts it to 12-20. And then from there, we actually get a touchdown on offense. Another Kenneth Gainwell touchdown. He had 2 on the day. Shout out Kenneth Gainwell. Had a solid day today. And then on their following drive, they fumble. That's when James Pierre picks up the fumble and returns it, right? Yep, returns it for the touchdown. I like that we got out there and kicked the extra point fast. We turn them over on downs, and then we take a knee, and we end up winning this game 34-12. Let's see. Where do I want to begin here? Let me pull up some numbers. So Aaron Rodgers in the first half, 9 for 15, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Outside of that opening drive, man, we really struggled. Aaron Rodgers was getting hit a lot. He's dancing in the pocket. He was extending plays. But it's just like either nobody was getting open or he's just not finding them fast enough. But something just didn't look quite right with our offense to go out there and just run down the field on the first drive. And, Jalen Warren able to be a big part of that. And then from there, it's just a lot of inconsistencies. There was a play, it was like 3rd and short, and we don't have Jalen on the field. Like I said, I like Kenneth Gainwell. I just think situational football kind of accounts for a lot here. It'd be nice to see him out there, like our best player, be out there on 3rd and short. And then in the second half, man, Mason Rudolph came in, really, really showed out. 12 for 16, very efficient. 127 yards, so ended up having more than Rodgers. And then he also had a touchdown pass to Kenneth Gainwell. Mason looked poised out there. He looked poised. He looked like he was ready to play. He stood in the pocket. He delivered the ball. It seemed like receivers were just getting more open. I don't know if it's just like a game plan type of thing where, they're probably expecting all these really quick passes with Rodgers as he's a bit of an older quarterback. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick, and maybe Mason's just standing in there a little bit longer. It's kind of hard to say off the first watch, but Mason, he stood in there and he played a good game. Jalen Warren continues to be one of our most consistent players on offense. 10 carries for 62 yards, including that explosive 35-yard run where he broke a couple tackles and cut across the field, and really made a really big play there. Gainwell had 9 carries for 24 yards. They're not bad. Had the 2 touchdowns through the air. Caleb Johnson had a couple good carries. If he didn't grab dude's face mask on that stretch play where he bounced it, that was a very good cut. That was good ball vision. That's just good vision. Get outside, and that would have counted for a lot more. Even Aaron Rodgers, he scrambled for that first down there in the first half. There, one carry for 8 yards. He got us the first down, and then Connor Hayward with a couple tush pushes. But receiving, Kenny Gainwell led us in receiving. Couple screen passes, and then of course the out routes for the touchdown. 7 receptions for 81 yards and the 2 touchdowns. DK putting up some numbers. He had a lot in the second half. 4 receptions, 67 yards, 31 yards on the longest. That's Darnell Washington. Holy shit. Darnell Washington with 4 receptions for 67 yards and 31 long. I thought that long seemed a little bit much for DK. DK had 5 for 49. His long was 17. And then Pat Fryermuth had 1 for 19, his only catch. Wilson had 1 for 17. Calvin Austin had that 1 for 5. Roman Wilson really outsnapped Calvin Austin this weekend. I don't know if that's something that's going to continue because, I mean, I feel like Calvin Austin gets open. Roman Wilson wasn't really getting open, and not saying he can't, but like, can we just put them both on the field? Can we put 3 receivers on the field? Is that, can we do that? Is that possible? Jonnu Smith continues to kind of be a no-show. Like I don't want to call him a no-show, but it's a lot of mouths to feed out here, and they're all playing the same position. So like it's just it continues to be a little frustrating not to have another dynamic playmaker, because I feel like we got a lot of playmakers. I feel like Pat's kind of a dynamic playmaker. I feel like he's just making the most out of his opportunities. But we could really use another spark there. But yeah, going to the defense, James Pierre really is balling out. He's playing really solid in coverage. He had a couple plays on Jamar Chase. He had one where he batted down a deep ball. It's very impressive. JPJ looked good out there. Didn't get any calls. Was playing rough, talking a lot of shit. Playing press man coverage, getting up in the guy's chest. I think he looked really solid out there. And then that Jalen Ramsey, it seemed a little uncharacteristic for him to just out of nowhere just start punching people. But they said he got spit on. I'm gonna look up the clip and play it at the beginning of the video, or maybe I'll put it in the video right at this point here. If that does end up being confirmed, because it just seems out of character. And Jamar Chase said he didn't spit on nobody. Cam Hayward said if you spit on somebody, you don't belong on the field. I agree. If you're spitting on somebody, that's nasty as shit. Get the fuck off the field. You gotta get booted for that, because if somebody punches you in the face for doing that shit, they're gonna get tossed. So you can't that shit's nasty, and like you can't fucking do that. You just, like it's like taunt. It's a taunt. It's like it's outside of the game, and it's just completely uncalled for. Nick Herbig had a sack. He continues to look good. I feel like Benton was in on a few. I don't know if he actually got home. No, he didn't. We got credit for 2 sacks, one from TJ and one for Nick Herbig. No, that's not right. TJ didn't get a sack. Yeah, we just got Nick Herbig got the 1 sack. We got 1 sack on the day. Holy, we did get 2 takeaways, so that does kind of make up for it a little bit. I feel like we were getting a lot of pressure, and Ben was getting close. TJ was getting close. TJ gets hit by so many people, bro. If you watch him on any given play, he might get hit by 3 people, get hit right off the line. Then there's somebody else waiting for him, and once he gets past that guy, there's another guy. Like it's wild. It's honestly wild. And yeah, I get where they're saying, might not be worth the $40 million. It is hard to disagree with that as far as like a pure production standpoint. But there's got to be a better way. He's getting hit. He's probably beat the fuck up before he can even attempt to make a play on the quarterback. And then the quarterback's already got the ball out of their hands by the time he has a chance to even get there. Yeah. But these last 3 weeks have looked really solid for the defense. Not anything like, best defense in the world, elite groundbreaking level like we would like, but they've looked a lot better. I think they've cleaned it up a lot. And as far as the offense, it was kind of stuck in the mud. Rudolph really came in and helped get us stabilized in a big way there. It's not something I wouldn't mind seeing again. Hopefully Rodgers is okay. But if we need to let him rest for a week, go ahead and let Rudolph go in there. We know who he is. We know what he's going to do. and we know that he can get us some wins. Going back to that 2023 stretch, I even said you might as well just bring him back and let him rock, but we ended up going with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and that he went to Tennessee, but he's back here now. I was on the record as far as before we got Rodgers just saying I would just let Mason Rudolph run the show. I definitely thought if you're bringing in a 41-year-old quarterback, it's only going to last so long anyway. So why not just roll with what we have with Mason Rudolph and then try to build something and draft somebody or free agent? You never know what's going to happen. I just felt like we've been doing a lot of patch jobs in these last few years, and the patches aren't holding. Wasn't anything against Rodgers. I think Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. I think he could be a little weird, but hey, we're all a little weird, and he really has won me over since being in Pittsburgh. I'm wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey, so you know what I mean. It's just something with Rudolph. If he can go in and make some plays and get us some wins, then I'm all for it. I'm sorry, I don't have as much right this second like I would like to because of me not taking notes, unfortunately. But there are some good tweets I took down here or saved. So let's see, make sure no Twitter porn pops up. So the Steelers took the opening kickoff and marched 78 yards on 8 plays, capped off by an 11-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers to Kenneth Gainwell. With an opening drive touchdown, Pitt has scored on an opening possession of the game 7 times in 2024, including 4 touchdown drives. The Steelers came to the game 25th on 3rd and 6 plus, allowed 2 to begin the game. Steelers play more zone, but Flacco worked in the middle. See, this is reminding me of stuff. We cannot get off the field on 3rd downs, man. We will get them to 3rd and long, and we always give up the damn 1st down. It's so frustrating. That's a lot of the times of what's our problem at the beginning of the game is we're not getting off the field and our offense isn't converting. And hold on, let me go back here because I think we actually did a pretty good job today as far as our conversion rate. How did I see that? I feel like it's so hard to see just simple shit. Like, what were we on 3rd down? I swear I just, maybe here it is. 1st downs. Okay, so we had 22 1st downs. We were 7 of 13 on 1st down. I thought it was a little bit better than that. I'm not going to lie to you. But we did get 22 1st downs, and that's a big number for us. 22 1st downs, I'll take that. But yeah, so that doesn't. Okay, so yeah, not all our 1st downs were on 3rd down. That makes sense. All right, and we actually went for it on 4th down. We got one, and we held them from getting their 4th down. So can't blame the edges, inside linebackers on Terrell Austin. It's just been going on since Gronk has been on the field. This is a Tomlin problem. So this is referring to the play where Jack Sawyer was covering T. Higgins, and T. Higgins he hit the cross route and then went up the field. I don't really think that was Jack Sawyer's fault. I think he was just in the zone, and there was just a soft spot in the zone because Flacco had all day to throw the ball. So once he cut it upfield, there was no defenders covering that zone. They probably just didn't want to guard grass and went to cover somebody else. So he just was the only person in the frame, and it just looked really bad. So, yeah. But there is a point to that. We have seen linebackers guarding elite receivers for 10 years. It's not a untrue statement. It's just the context of that was just a little bit different. Warren got hurt. I think I forgot to mention that. Get healthy, Warren. Get healthy, Rodgers. Got a couple really important guys got hurt there today. So he did come back and get some more snaps. I did see that, but Kenneth Gainwell really played well in his absence. So hopefully he's good to go for next week. But if he is not, then just let him get healthy, and we'll be back at it the following week. Um, let's see. Steelers throw incomplete. Okay, so hold on. What's this say? Bengals defense historically bad in so many measures, including total points and points per game. One thing they do well: defend play action versus mass protection. If the Steelers use play action, got to boot and send more than 2 into the route. Steelers throw, and he said that, and then shortly after, Steelers throw incomplete on one of those max pro play action. Can't do that against them. Use the boot like the first drive. And the reason I like this one is because on those heavy packages, we usually do have all three tight ends and maybe one receiver, and it seems like it's always a different receiver. I'm not sure what goes into making those decisions, but it would be nice to see a couple receivers at least on those routes. So that's why I like that one. This was just commenting on the college game, the Notre Dame and Pitt game being played on that field the game before, and we just always are dealing with field problems in Pittsburgh. It's ridiculous. They got too much money. They got to clean that shit up. Chris Carter, when James Pierre was running, James Pierre runs stride for stride with Jamar Chase and breaks up the deep ball to force third down stop. That's 7 pass breakups for Pierre on 13 targets this year. Steelers get a touchback. Pierre may need to start from this point on. Yeah, it's hard to say that It's hard to say that Pierre has not been playing better than Slay. Like, he's really been balling. Like, I feel like ever since he's been coming in, he has been playing very well. He's younger, and he's been just on a hot streak. He's been on a burner. So I don't know exactly what they do with that, but I will say that James Pierre has been earning a lot of snaps, and he's looked really good out there. He also had that fumble 6, took it back for the touchdown. Shout out Pierre and Pierre Island. He has really looked really, really good this season. Yet another third down and Warren on the sideline again. This was referring to my point earlier where Jaylen Warren has not been in the game on third and shorts, and it's very frustrating. Keanu Ben is on the heater right now. He's playing great ball the last several weeks, especially as a rusher due to this feeling. I agree. He's really been getting in the backfield a lot. I don't know if they're still playing him out of position or if he's just kind of starting to figure it out a little bit more, but he's been looking really good. I think he had a sack in each of the last 2 or 3 games. He didn't get one today, but he was definitely flashing on tape and definitely was close to getting a couple. The Steelers' last 3 safeties to record a pick 6, Troy Polamalu, Mika Fitzpatrick, Kyle Duggar. Shout out Kyle Duggar, man. He's been really solid. He's been playing really well since he's been inserted into the lineup. He came right in, out of necessity, and he's really held up well in this defense, and he's been a real bright spot, and I'm happy we're able to pick him up. Speaking of that, though, where the fuck was Marquez Valdez-Scantling? Like, I thought Marquez Valdez-Scantling was mid when he was good. I'm just kind of, like, not a big fan of his, but I don't want to be a hater, so I'm not going to say anything bad. But, I mean, not saying he's, like, the godsend or whatever, but where the fuck is he? Like, can we put this nigga on the field? Like, we need help. Please. Just see what happens. See what works. Like, what's going on? Like, he better be out there next week. That's all I'm gonna say. I think this is the last one, yeah. So the Steelers secondary play arguably their best game of the season in their win over the Bengals. 6 passes defended. Pierre, Duggar, Ramsey, and Joey Porter Jr. 1 interception for Duggar, also with the touchdown. A forced fumble by Eccles, and 2 defensive touchdowns, both Duggar and Pierre. Speaking of that, what was the Bengals numbers? Joe Flacco, 23 for 40, 199 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Chase Brown, he was making some plays out there. Lights getting bitch. 18 carries for 99 yards, 5.5 yards. Almost broke a couple. Well, he did break a couple, but almost really broke a couple. And we had some touchdown-saving tackles. T. Higgins, 3 receptions for 63 yards, and the touchdown. A lot of those came on that broken play. 28 yards of that. Noah Fant, he got going early, but he got fucking rocked a couple times. I think Jalen Ramsey got him once. Somebody else, Duggar, I think, got him once. Jamar Chase got fucking rocked a couple times. Jalen Ramsey got him for sure, I know. And yeah, there was a couple hits out there, but those are the couple that stood out. So yeah, defense stood tall. So we will take the dub. We are on to who the fuck we play next week? The Bears. Oh, we're going to Chicago. So we'll be in the Windy City next week, but we got a lot of wind today, so we should be all right. You know. Anywho, appreciate you guys. If you guys have stayed to this point in the video, you can definitely like the video if you want to. Subscribe if you like this old man rant. And yeah, we went for 25 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. But thank you again, and we'll catch you later. GG's.